Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to tonight's show, which title is Israel Doctrine. When a high school dropout understands what a college English major does. So, as you can see, I'm addressing things that has to do with a college English major, what they don't understand. But I'm here to promote and talk about myself and how the Lord give me understanding, because I believe there's a Bible text that say, "In all that getting, get understanding." And people don't think that I have a good comprehension or understanding of stuff. That's why I make the arguments that I make. So we're going to deal with a terminology tonight to show my understanding. Just to speak on here, I'm not here to address nobody or nothing like that. So let's get on with the getting on. I'm finna go to YouTube, show y'all the word. I'm gonna have the computer read, because I'm just a country boy. My country accent and stuff don't let me say and do certain things. So let's go into what I want to go into. So the word is up there now. We're going to deal with the phonics. No, I don't like to. Anthropomorphism language. Let's see what the computer say. I think I did a pretty good job. I got somewhat phonics. I don't like to use them though. So let's copy this and have the male voice read it. I was about to make the female read it, but we're going to hear the male voice.
Anthropomorphic language assigns human traits, emotions, intentions, or behaviors to non-human entities, such as animals, deities, or machines. It is heavily used in storytelling to build empathy, but is also widely used in everyday speech, religion, and technology.
So, religion is what we're talking about, right? That's what I specialize in. That's what I beat college graduates up in, though I'm a high school dropout and stuff like that. And I understand when one understands that I understand. Why you won't talk to me or debate me or run and bring up another subject, another person, another this, another that. I understand. And because I understand and all my getting, I got it. Because I understand it, I made a video the other night, because the Bible also states foolish and unlearned questions, avoid. So I do my best to try to avoid foolish and unlearned questions. And anybody that sit up and want to argue that the Lord God of Israel I can't say the word, whatever the word is, his language when he was talking to Abraham, showing you a spiritual thing through a physical thing. That's how the Lord speaks. That's the same thing that happened when I learned about Hebrew Israelite. It was like, well, how do he know about Hebrew Israelite? How do he understand and comprehend? Because I read 1 Corinthians 10 and 2. And I understood that if a Hebrew is baptized, then he got to become something else. He can't become another Hebrew. This is not reincarnation. This is born again. in the way Jesus spoke to Nicodemus. He spoke this same way. They called it a parable, though, a more simpler term for a person with a Moses-like tongue. I ain't got an Aaron around, but I do have a AI voice or whatever. So we're going to go in a little further and deal with this terminology and deal with the common applications and everything else related to this terminology. Now, it's going to give you some sources. I'm going to let it read the sources too, but we're going to deal with it.
Common forms and applications. Everyday life, unconsciously attributing human feelings or motivations to animals and objects, e.g., saying a dog is guilty for making a mess, or a computer is stubborn for not loading a program. Fiction and folklore, giving non-human characters human-like personalities, speech, and actions to tell a story.
To tell a story. So the story is Jesus came down as Melchizedek with two angels. And he spoke to Abraham because, like he said, he's going to let his servants know everything that he do. Because his servants is no longer his servants. They his friends. So just like he spoke to Moses face to face, he spoke to Abraham face to face in the form of Melchizedek. And he told him, he said, hey, if it's 50 righteous people, I won't destroy that city. Then Abraham worried about Lot down there. He said, well, what if it's 10 righteous people? He said, for 10, I won't do it. So the Lord God of Israel didn't find 10 people in Sodom that wasn't a Sodomite and doing Sodomite stuff. How did the Lord know they was doing something? Because the Lord know everything anyway. He already knew. I know people love to make that argument and stuff, and I'd be like, but it's places in the Bible where the Lord say about people, I don't know until they do what they do. He's ignorant until you make your choice because he can't make your choice for you. You have to make your choice for yourself. And you make a bad choice, he's going to punish you. You make a good choice, he's going to reward you. So let's keep listening. So that's what the Lord doing when he came down in the form of Melchizedek, the priest of the Most High God, because Jesus is the priest of the Most High God. Angels are his under priests. He's the Most High priest, though. He showed you this in the Levitical priesthood. You can't explain this to a college graduate dummy. High school dropout boy can understand this, though.
Famous examples span from Disney characters to George Orwell's Animal Farm. Religion and theology, describing an infinite, divine being using human physical features, e.g., God's hands or eyes or emotions, e.g., feeling pleased or grieving, to make the divine relatable and comprehensible to humans. Artificial intelligence, intentionally using psychological terms, e.g., AI thinks, underlies, or knows, to make technology feel more conversational and user-friendly.
So this is what I got to look at the word because I got to pronounce the word. I got to sound, funny. We say the word anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism. It's got an ISM. I can't get that out. So this is what the Lord did. The priest of the Most High God came in the form of Melchizedek. Melchizedek and Jesus do the same thing. They both work with unleavened bread. I would debate somebody on that, but I think a lot of people realize that nigga they'll call Albert is not ignorant. He done played ignorant all his life. And sometimes you got to play it to the day you die to beat your enemies out so they'll think you ignorant. But when people find out that I'm not ignorant, they get afraid of me. I remember Henry Bowie told a story one day about people playing and stuff, and then somebody said that dude just killed somebody. because people ignorant of the fact that he is a killer. He didn't kill somebody. But when you say it and people realize that he's a killer, another mindset kick in. Oh, he's a killer. Let me shut up. Let me stop arguing and fighting with that guy because he's dangerous. I'm not a killer, but that's a killer. I'm going to leave him alone. People in these YouTube streets then found out the same thing about me. When it comes to that Bible, oh, that nigga's a killer. Ain't nothing you can tell him. If he arguing with you, you done already lost. You done already lost. That's why nobody will debate me. When I showed Genesis 18 and 19, that the Lord said I needed to know because he is a fair judge, I'm not going to go kill them people without verifying that they wrong. That's why he tell you in the Second Thessalonians that he's going to send you a lie. Because if you believe that lie, he know I got the right to kill you now. Because you believe that lie, and he tell you, don't believe lies. Don't lie, don't believe lies. Well, he lied to me, and I believe it. He ain't got the right to kill me. Nah, that's what gives him the right to kill you, because he know you've been believing lies. But let's keep going. Let's get some more stuff off of this writing so we can understand anthropomorphic language. I can't even say the word. I bet you a college graduate can hiss and do all the stuff they have to do to.
The danger of anthropomorphic language. While it fosters connection, relying heavily on this language in scientific or technical fields can cause issues. In science and AI development, attributing conscious intent or feeling to non-living or non-sentient things can invite premature conclusions about a subject's ethical or legal standing. Anthropomorphism versus personification. While closely related, they have a key technical distinction. Anthropomorphism is the literal or semi-literal endowment of non-human entities with human-like characteristics, e.g., a wolf talking and wearing clothes. Personification is a figure of speech that gives abstract concepts or objects human qualities to make a poetic point, e.g., the wind howled or opportunity knocked on the door.
See, so it's basically parables. Now, people may not understand that I understand what a parable is, just like when I said ebonics. It's an ebony phonics. It's an ebony phonics. That's the basis of ebonics. It's an ebony phonics. And when you deal with phonics, just like the word breaking down, saying the word and using phonetic abilities to break the word down, some people can't do it because they're not Europeans. They don't have European phonics. But when you've been to school and they didn't taught you this stuff, as people that went to school was taught this stuff, I went to school too, but I was never taught this stuff. I had to get understanding why I couldn't read. I found out about phonics. I said, oh, nobody ever taught me phonics. No wonder I can't read. I seen my mother talking to my sisters and different stuff. They know phonics. They can speak Pig Latin and do all this type of stuff. I was sitting right there looking at it. Never was told what it was and never understood it because I was young and dumb. But what my elders did tell me reached home with me. Keep living and you'll understand. I can't tell you right now, but one day you won't understand. Life gonna teach you. So it done taught me stuff. Arguing and fighting and debating and doing all this that I do, I didn't learn. It's a lot of people ain't learned because they never stood on the other side. But as I put up a post today, if it was easy, everybody would do it. The way I done live, it's been a very hard life. Everybody can't live this life. They can't endure what I didn't endure. But I've never been misused or misled by anybody. I've never, nobody ever did any embarrassing stuff to me. None of that stuff. I never let nobody misuse me, mislead me, or none of that. So let's get a little bit more, because I do believe there's a little bit more that we can get. No, it ain't no more we can get. So, like I said, I'm gonna calm the conversation down now, because I ain't got no more bragging to do about myself. I'm a bad man. I'm bigger and deafer than anybody out here. Some even say I'm the GOAT. They would do it relentlessly. They wouldn't want to do it, but some will say I'm the GOAT. My conversation is over with. If you've been to college, you got a wet pen, and this, that, and the other, you should understand anthropomorphism. Like I said, my tongue still can't use the terminology, but I do understand it. I don't care if I can read it or write it or whatever, spell it or whatever. I understand it. When I read it, I can comprehend what's going on because I understand it. And all you're getting, get understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Why understanding at the end? Because you can get wisdom and knowledge, but if you lack understanding, you're still ignorant. I ain't never been ignorant, because I ain't never lacked understanding. With that said, I love you all. No argument or debate for me. If you want to be what you want to be what you want to be. I'm not going to condemn you, but with the Lord get here, you will be condemned. With that said, love you all. Hopefully you make the right choice. With that said, peace.